Hello and welcome, dear mathletes, once again to Mathlete Minds. We continue our journey of CBSE Class 10 Mathematics, and right now we are focusing on the topic of statistics. Now, in this particular video, we'll take up the third central tendency, that is the mode of the data. Now, first let us understand what exactly is the mode of the data and how we solve questions pertaining to it. The mode of the data is the particular value in any data set which occurs the maximum number of times. So it is not affected by the outliers, the minimum or the maximum values, because it is that particular value which is occurring the maximum number of times. Hence, it is also referred to as the heartbeat of repetition. Now let us take up some questions pertaining to mode of the data. How do we calculate the mode of the data? This is a very simple question. Here we have been given the data set, which is there are a few numbers over here. Maybe they are the marks of maybe the students. So here, in order to find out the mode, first of all, we create the frequency distribution, xi, fi. Now we write down the variables here. The variables x are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now let us count the number of threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have here 5 threes. 4. If I count 4, this is 1 4 over here, this is another 4, 2 4s. 5, if we count, we have 1 5 here, 2 5. So we have here 3, 1, 2, and 3, and one more 5. 4 5s are there. 6, if I count 6, I have 1 and 2 over here. 2 6 are there. 7. 7 is once here. This is 1 7. This is 1 7. So 2 7s. 8 is occurring only once. And 9 is occurring. This is 1 and this is 1 more over here. So 9 is occurring 2 times. So this is the entire frequency of all the different variables here. So if you look at the variables here, you find that 5 is occurring the maximum number of times. You could do it just by looking at the data also, but you have to do it methodically. So we create the frequency distribution, and now the modal value of this data is 3. So this again, you notice over here 3 is the minimum value, but it is still the modal value of the data. So the minimum value or the maximum value are not the question over here. It is that particular value which occurs the maximum number of times. This is again another question of the same type, but here it is slightly different because we are asked to find the value of A if 25 is the mode of the data. So already the mode of the data is given to us as 25, and we have to find out this missing variable. So again, we create the frequency distribution here, and we start from the lowest value 8. Then we have the next value, that is 15. Then we can write down 19. Then we have 20. Then we have, after 20, we have here 24, 25, and 26. 24, 25, and 26. And then A. So now if I count 8, 8 is occurring only once. 15, if I take 15, 15 is once, twice, and 3 times. 15 is occurring 3 times. 19 is occurring only once. 19 is occurring only once. 20 is occurring once. 24, if I take 24, this is 124 here, another 24 here, another 24. 3 times 24 is occurring. 25. 25 is occurring, this is 1, and this is 1. So 25 is also occurring 3 times. 26 is occurring only once. A is occurring once. Now the question says that 25 is the mode of the data. That means the value of A, because there are 3 values here which have the frequency 3 over here. But since 25 is the mode of the data, the value of A must be 25, so that 25 becomes the maximum number of times. Its frequency becomes 4. Hence, then we can say that 25 is the mode of this particular data. So this is how this sum is solved. Now let's take some group distribution questions. Here we find this is the frequency distribution of agriculture holdings in a village, which are given below. You have to find the modal agriculture holdings of the village. So here these are the land areas in hectares, and these are the families who own these areas over here. Notice that the maximum number of families are holding the land between 5 to 7 hectares. But 5 to 7, the total group cannot be taken as the modal value. we have to find out that particular modal value from this data. So here, of course, we use the formula for mode. So mode formula that we use for group distribution is L plus F1 minus F0 by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. Now, what are these quantities? L is the lower limit of the modal class. So first of all, we'll have to identify the modal class. F1 is the frequency of the modal class. F0 is the frequency of the class preceding the modal class. And F2 is the frequency of the class succeeding the modal class. And H is the class interval. So we'll put all these values in the formula over here and calculate the mode. So here the mode we have already identified. The mode is this class over here, that is 5 to 7. So L is equal to 5. Lower limit is 5. Now we take the formula. So mode is equal to L, that is 5, plus F1. F1 is 80, the frequency of the modal class. Frequency preceding the modal class is 45. Then 2F1, that makes it 2 into 80, minus F1, that is 45, minus F2, that is 55, into the class interval, that is 2. This line should come till here. So this becomes 5 plus 80 minus 45, that is 35. This denominator is 160 minus 100 into 2. So we get here 5 plus 35 by 60 into 2. So this becomes 5 plus 3.5 by 3. So I can write as 5 plus 1.16 approximately. So the modal value comes as 6.16. So this is that particular area of land which the maximum number of families own. So the modal value is 6.16. It comes inside this group. Let's take the next question. So in the next question, we have here the average height of students of a class. And here you see in this particular data, there is a slight difference from the previous one. Here we have the heights given in centimeters. But when you look at this data, we have this as a inclusive group because 160 to 162, then the next class interval begins from 163 to 165. So here what we have to do is change this into exclusive data, because the problem over here will be like the values between 162 and 163, they have not been included in any of these class intervals over here. So first of all, we'll put it in the exclusive format where the upper limit is not counted in that particular class interval. So in order to do that, we take up the upper limit of this any class and the lower limit of the succeeding class. The lower limit of the succeeding class is 163 and upper limit of the preceding class is 162. We find out the difference. The difference is 1. Difference divided, this 1 that comes, divide that by 2, so we get here 0.5. Once you get the 0.5, this 0.5 is added to the upper limit of each class interval and subtracted from the lower limit of each class interval. So my first class interval will become 159.5 to 162.5. The second class interval will become 162.5 to 165.5 and so on. So again, another important thing that you can notice is when it was in the inclusive format, the class interval was 2. But now the class interval has become 3. So now let us calculate the mode of this data. So here when we write down this over here, this will become 159.5 to 162.5. This is 162.5 to 165.5. Then we have 165.5 to 168.5. This is 168.5 to 171.5 and 171.5 to 174.5. So this is exclusive data. That means the upper limits are not included in this class interval. So here now, again getting back to the formula, the mode is equal to L plus F1. So if I take the, this is the modal class over here, maximum frequency is 142. So we get the modal class is in this way, we get 166 to 168. But we'll take this value, that is the modal class is 165.5 to 168.5. This is the modal class. So the lower limit of the modal class is 165.5. So the mode of the data will be L, that is 165.5 plus F1 minus F0, that is 142 minus 118 divided by 2 into 142 minus 118 minus 127 into the class interval, that is 3. So this becomes 165.5 plus this becomes 24 divided by, this is 284 minus 245 into 3. So this becomes 165.5 plus 24 by this becomes 284 minus 245. So if we subtract, we'll get here, this is 9 and 7 minus 4, that is 3 into 3. So this becomes 31313. So 165.5, 24 divided by 13, that is 1 point. We get a remainder 1110. So 13,804 and then 13 fours 52. So approximately 2 places. And so the final answer comes as, this is 4. Then 5 plus 4, 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry over 1. So we get here 167.34. So the modal value is coming as 167.34. And it lies in this particular class interval. So the exact modal value, that means the children who are having the height 167.34, they are the maximum in this particular class over here. With that, we come to the next thing that we need to understand, that is the connection between the 3 central tendencies. So this is the formula for connecting the 3 central tendencies. So if you are asked to find out, say, mode, if median and mean are given, you can do that, and you can make them, each one of them, the subject of the formula. If you are asked, like say median, you have already got mode and mean, so if you can calculate median by making this as the subject of the formula. So with that, we come to the end of this year's syllabus. Of course, there is more to mode, but this much is there in the class 10 syllabus. We don't have to do bimodal and multimodal questions. So thank you for watching. Hope that you have understood something. Kindly like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.